I think I'm not allowed to share. I think Sakshi ma'am, are you there? You will have to allow me to share the screen because okay, fine. Now I can do it. All right. Okay. 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 Ma'am. Sure. Fine. So I'll now be able to share it. Can you see the screen, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me know where did we stop. I think we
So from
discussed
that,
about Mr. Casing, right?
so we have to from the last paragraph. That
Chatterbox. Okay. Here, the class road. I'll had to laugh. Yeah, from
no, sir.
there.
Before this, 52 page number.
No, 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 no. Really?
Yes, sir. That
Okay.
evening after I did finish.
Okay. 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 Fine. Fine. Yeah. So far we know that he talks about his one of the mathematics teacher called Mr. Casing, and how old he had been and what kind of work that he had assigned to and Frank. Okay, she had to write an essay on a chatterbox. Right. Let us see what happens now. Who would like to read? I want everyone's camera to be turned on. Come on. I don't write repeating the instructions over and over again. Keep it on. Neil Modi, Yaksh Gajjar. Come on, hurry up. Neil Modi, can you hear me? Dvisha Shah, Maneet, Meg Patel, Kavya Shah, Stanza, Priyank Chandak, Kashwini. Come on.
Sir, I'm having some network issue. I can't on my
Yashvi
camera.
Sapkal, Moksha, Tanisha. Why can't I see you? Come on, turn on your cameras, everyone.
Sir, I'm having some network issue, so I can't turn on my camera.
Fine, Yashvi, can you read? Can you hear me, Yashvi?
Yes, sir.
Start reading if you want.
Yes, sir. So just a second.
Yeah, sure.
That evening, after I did finish the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my mountain pen.
Fountain.
Any fountain pen. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. But the trick was to come up with convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking. I thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote 3 pages Mr. Kissing had assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is students' trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control, but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there's not much you can do about inherited traits.
Okay, fine. Pay attention now. What does it happen? It says that evening after I finished my rest of my homework, she says that particular evening when she was done with her homework, the note about the essay, that caught her eye. So she began to think about the subject while she was chewing the tip of the fountain pen. She further said that, see, to write without any kind of aim, that is what everyone can, do it. Okay. But, the point was that there are different methods that people use to write the long term essay. They can use different spaces, they can leave different spaces while joining the words, and they can still make their essay look bigger. Okay, but point here was not to write an essay. The point here was to come up with the convincing arguments to prove that necessity of talking is must. Okay, so purposely she had to write an essay on the point called chatterbox, but ultimately she wished that she should write an essay on chatterbox, but also justifying why it is necessary to talk a lot. Okay, and she further says that she thought and thought about this idea, and then she wrote 3 pages, and Mr. Casing had that Mr. Casing assigned to her, and then she was satisfied. She argued that talking is a student's trait. she कहती थी कि भाई बातें करना तो स्टूडेंट्स का ट्रेट होता है, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होती है. आपने कोई स्टूडेंट देखा है जो बातें ना करता हो? शी राइट्स लाइक दिस and was satisfied particularly, and still said that though that student cannot be stop from talking, but she is going to try her level best in order to stop being a chatter box. Understood? She would try her level best in order to keep it under the control. Okay, but that would never be able to cure herself or her habit, since her mother talked as much as she did, if not more than that. There not much you can do about inherited traits. She said that she will definitely try to actually not to talk, to keep the talk under control, but then it's the quality that all the kids they possess. Okay, and she probably she is the one who is going to try that this shouldn't be repeated, but what and how you can stop that kind of trait which you have got from in heredity. Okay, so she says that I'll try, but I don't guarantee you about that success. Okay, continue. Mr. Casing had good laugh at my arguments. Can you hear me, beta? I think she's not here. Yashvi, she left. Yes, I think she has joined back again. Yashvi, can you hear me? Yashvi, Yashvi, can you hear me? Yashvi, can you hear me, beta?
Yes, sir. I actually got out of the meeting due to network issue.
Can you turn on your camera?
So I'm facing network issue. That's why I'm not able to on the camera.
Mm. Yashvi, you are in which school?
Adani sir, I know you. You were our class teacher in third C.
Yeah, I thought so, Yashvi. I could
I was.
sense that I have seen you somewhere, but I couldn't recall. How have you been all these years?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm better. That's why I asked you which is your school.
Yes.
Wow. I can still recall your tiny face, you see?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. It has been long time, Yashvi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I wonder if you were able to identify me. Were you?
Yes,
Easily?
sir. In the first lecture only. I
Oh God, long time. Anyone from the same batch?
no, sir.
No. Who is your class teacher there right now?
Viral ma'am.
Viral Thakkar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who takes English?
English Durga
Arp-
ma'am.
Durga ma'am.
Durga sir.
Arpita ma'am takes in 11th and 12th, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, great. Okay, because I thought that I've heard this name somewhere, and then I recalled that yes, it was grade third register. Yes, I think it was roll number 1 or 2, but yeah, I could remember. Yes, yes. How long? Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 7 years, Yashvi. Seven
Sir.
long years. Anyways, let us get back. Okay, बातें
Yes.
तो होती रहेगी. चलो. All right, so let us proceed further. Where did we stop? I think yes, you had to start from Mr. Casing, right?
Mr. Casing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. This time it was supposed to be on an incorrigible,
Incorrigible.
incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Mr. Kissing had nothing to complain about for two whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he did finally had enough Anne Frank as punishment for talking in class. Write an essay entitled Quack Quack Quack, said Mistress Chatterbox.
Okay, fine. Keep it till here. Pay attention, everyone. It says, when, Anne Frank wrote that she's definitely going to try her best in order to talk less. But then she also said that she's not going to guarantee Mr. Casing that she would definitely stop. Okay. So when Mr. Casing, read these arguments, he laughed like anything. And when she started to proceed further to talk her way through the next lesson, Mr. Casing, happened to assign her another essay. And that time, the topic was an incorrigible chatterbox. Okay, something that cannot be corrected. Now you see, when you're trying your level best, dear students, in order to have a control, over your bad habits, you mess up. And I think, Mr. Casing figured out the same in Anne Frank also. So while Mr. Casing gave her to write an essay on, a chatterbox, he figured out that, this happened to be turned out in another way. So he happened to assign her another essay called incorrigible chatter box. ऐसा chatter box जो कभी सीधा होगा नहीं, कभी सुधरेगा नहीं. Right. So second essay was handed over to Anne Frank, and Mr. Casing had nothing to complain about for two whole lessons, because then Anne Frank decided to keep quiet for two more lectures, because she knew that if she would talk more, probably there will be list of essays that he is going to have. Okay. However, during the third lesson, while the third lesson was about to start, he would finally had enough. And he would come back to Anne Frank again and said, Anne Frank, as a punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. So finally he came to Anne Frank and he said that, because you were talking, there is this another essay that I'm giving to you. And that essay's title is Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. You see, after even writing two essays, she couldn't, try to rectify herself. Okay, and happened to receive third essay on the same topic, but every time the quality was increasing, right or wrong. So that's the point. All right, let us proceed further. What happened next?
The class roared. I had to laugh too, though I did. He nearly exhausted my
Ingenuity.
ingenuity on the topic of chatterboxes. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sene, who's good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse, and I jumped for joy. Mr. Casing was trying to play a joke on me with ridiculous subject, but I did make sure the joke was on him.
Hmm.
I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with three baby ducklings who were beaten to death by the father because they quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Casing took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments and to several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. Casing's always making jokes these days.
Okay, fine. So let us see how it ends. So जब तीसरी बार एन फ्रैंक को ऐसे मिला, quack quack quack, said Mistress
Mr.
Chatterbuckle.
Scatterbox.
Yucks. So even Anne Frank also started having a good laugh. Even the class also roared out of laughter. and then she was actually exhausted, because then her originality and inventiveness was appreciated on the topic called chatterbox. So it was time to come up with something else, but now she had to try something else in writing an essay. Okay, something that is very original. Now it was her friend, San, who was quite good at poetry. So it was San who happened to offer a help to Anne Frank in order to write the essay from beginning to the end in the form of the verse. And Anne Frank couldn't control her joy listening that someone was actually ready to help her out in writing an essay. So Mr. Casing was actually trying to play a joke on her with this ridiculous subject, because then the intention of Mr. Casing was to make a fun or make a joke of Anne Frank in front of the class while handing her the third time essay on the same topic, with intensity increasing after every time. So it was, when Anne Frank came to know that San was going to help her out, and had a kind of, made her mind that now the joke was going to be on him rather. All right. So I finished my poem, and it was beautiful. So Anne Frank happened to finish her poem, and it was that beautiful. It was a mother duck and a father swan. So the poem was about the mother duck and father swan, with three baby ducklings who were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. Now, see, the story is very simple. It is about the mother duck and the father swan. Now, they were bitten so much. The babies of mother duck and father swan were bitten so much because they were duckling, or they were quacking a lot. So luckily, Mr. Casing was the one who took this joke very lightly. So he read the poem, because the poem was so amusing to Mr. Casing that he read this entire poem right in front of the class, adding his own comments, and to several other classes as well, because he was also giving his own input on this poem. And also he made sure that the entire class should end up understanding the poem, because Mr. Casing was impressed by the poem that Anne Frank wrote. Since then, Anne Frank was allowed to talk, and also she was not given any kind of extra assignment or extra homework because of this surprise. And then, since then, Mr. Casing has no more been a serious old man. He is known for making jokes these days, says Anne Frank. An extract from the diary of a young girl. Any doubts, dear students? Any queries?
No, sir.
Did you understood,
Oh, sir.
everyone? Everyone understood? I think the chat option is available to everyone, or it has been confined by the host. Are you able to reply in the chat box? Because I think it is allowed. Yes, it is allowed, right? Okay, so you started
So we can
replying.
only send message to you.
That I know, of course. All right, but I can send message to anyone right from here, direct message and indirect message. Okay, perfect. Let me see if I have the worksheet of question answers of Anne Frank. Just give me a minute, dear students, till the time I figure out, so that we can discuss the question answers of Anne Frank as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Diary of. So I'll display the screen to you. Let me know, dear students, if you're able to see it. Can you see the screen, dear students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me make it 90%. Right. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, the screen is visible.
Okay, so the first question says, Anne says teachers are the most unpredictable. Is Mr. Casing unpredictable? How? Yes, Mr. Casing is an unpredictable person. He is angry with Anne Frank for being talkative in class and gives her extra assignments as a punishment. but later he finds her essays to be witty and amusing. This brings a change in him and he accepts her arguments. He develops a funny bone too and starts cracking jokes in the class. This change in Mr. Casing's nature shows that he is unpredictable, right? So, if you are asked a question on justify whether the teachers are unpredictable creatures on this earth or not, you can very well give example of Mr. Casing, right, dear students? Okay,
Sir,
Jainam, yes, who's this?
the second one.
Yes, Jainam.
Why does Annie need to give a brief
It's not
sketch about
N-A, it's N, okay? It's N.
Anne?
Hmm.
So why does Anne need to give a brief sketch about her family? Does she treat Kitty as an insider or an outsider? Answer.
Okay.
Anne feels it would be weird to just simply jot
Jot
down
down.
facts without giving her background. In case someone might read it in future, he or she won't be able to understand
Vaguely stated facts.
vaguely stated facts. Thus, she decided to provide a brief sketch on her life of her life. She treats Kitty as an insider, as it was her only true friend with whom she could share each and everything.
Yes. Okay. So I think there are 8 questions. Dear students, you can take out the notebook and you can start copying these questions and answers in your notebook. All right. Come on, hurry up. I want everyone to be ready with the notebook and pen. And quick, you have to start writing these questions and answers. All right. Sneha, Bansi, Pranjwal, Jainam Shah, Miraya, Devanshi, Mahi, Tia, Manit, Neil. Why your cameras are off? Meg, Kashwini, Moksha, Tanisha, Tithi, Stanza. Come on, keep your cameras on. Because if my camera is on, I insist that everyone's camera should be turned on. Okay? It looks like you're watching me in a home theater scene, right? Because everything is black in my background. If I'll, this- and you'll not be able to see me, right? So that's why I'm keeping it off. Miraya, you are in which school?
Nirman High School.
Nirman High School. Yes. I think I have taught your seniors back before 2, 3 years. You know them? Any of them?
No.
Mishka and all?
Sir, I know.
Do you know Mishka and all? You don't know, right? Who
Yes, sir.
says you
Yes, I
know?
know Mishka.
Jainam Shah.
Jainam Shah, yes. Mishka, and there were around 4 to 5
Yash.
people. Yes, 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 yes. The skinny guy, the one who was in athletics. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And there was that, fair guy. I forgot his name, man. What was his name? Then Puhumi, Puhumi and all. No, they must be in, I
No,
think,
sir.
grade 12 right now. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So you had a good bunch of people here, your seniors. So they were good. So how many people are there from Nirman here? Nirman? Only one, Miraya? Anyone else?
Sir, me, Jainam Shah.
Jainam Shah and Miraya from Nirman. Neil Modi, you are from which school, beta?
Sir,
Neil
Merchant
Modi.
Singhavy International School, Gandhidham.
Which school?
Merchant Singhavy International School, Kutch, Gandhidham.
Gandhida. But then you are in Ahmedabad right now.
No,
Then,
I'm from right now in Gandhidham.
so once we begin with offline, how are you going to manage?
So no idea.
Okay,
So
fine.
like I came Ahmedabad for 2 years.
Okay, all right. And where have you been in Ahmedabad? In which school?
Nirman High School.
Nirman only. Okay, fine. So you shifted to Kutch this year?
like I was born in Ahmedabad, then was brought here. Then
Hmm.
for 2 years for my sister's 11th,
Okay,
11th,
okay.
12th,
Hmm.
we came Ahmedabad and then shifted back here.
Okay, okay, fine. All right. Mahi Patel, you are in which school? Mahi?
Sir, MAV, Maharaja Agrasen Vidyalaya.
Okay, I think we also had students from Maharaja Agrasen School before a couple of years. I don't. There were twin brothers, Meet and
Yes, sir.
Manasvi, Meet Manasvi, and there were other two, Dhruv and Dhruvi. You know that?
Yes, sir. Sir, some of them I know.
Yes. So Meet Manasvi were there, Dhruv, Dhruvi.
The Parth was also there, na, from Maharaja Agrasen.
Yes. Parth was also there. Yeah, the one different from everyone else in the group. I think in that particular batch there were around 25 to 30 students, and luckily they studied in offline batch.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He's my brother, na, so I know.
Acha, Parth is your brother?
Yes, sir.
Then you ask him about me and he will tell you how I was.
No, no, like cousin brother.
Whatever, cousin brother or real brother, but he will be good at giving review, right?
Yes, sir. Before
Okay.
it
Sir,
was Anu ma'am, Anshu ma'am, na.
Anshu Shekhawat, I know.
Ah,
She's my friend, yes. Okay.
Sir, you have also taught my brother,
Who is
Jeet,
this?
Jeet Patel.
Jeet Patel. Yes, they're both brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
Jeet Patel. Okay.
sir,
Yes. And who
sir,
else?
how was Parth like in
Parth
school?
was good. He was good. आप लोग कैमरा ऑफ करके बोल रहे हो ना, मुझे लगता है कि मैं आइकन्स के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ, मुझे पता ही नहीं चल रहा है कि कौन बोल रहा है, तो आपको you will have to talk to me, interact with me, then it will be a good fun, you see,
Sir,
like
I said na
Yash.
I have network issue today.
I understand. Yashvi Sapkal. Yashvi, can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
Yashvi, can you recall any incident or any experience? Because I've almost
Sir,
forgotten
our
everything.
annual function,
Yes.
mimicry.
अच्छा मोनो, अच्छा वो ये था अपना माइम थी ना, we did a
Mime,
mime.
mime.
Yeah, I have a photo also of that particular mime. Would you like to see that?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you, just wait if I can, just a minute, because few days only I came across that. It will take a time.
Sir, will you send this PDF in the WhatsApp group?
I will probably, okay, but then if you're discussing it, let us see if you are able to finish it, then that's no problem. If not, then I will definitely send.
Okay, sir.
I'll share something. Can you identify this? Anyone? These are tiny
Sir, these
toddlers.
are all. They are now in 12th.
Yes, they are now in 12. You see, this is a tiny toddlers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, grown up kids. I'm trying to figure out. I'm unable to get it. If I get it, I'll show it to you. Till the time, we can go ahead with this.
Sir, in middle that black is coming.
Just a
This,
minute.
sir,
Now is it? Now is
yes,
it
sir.
proper?
Yes, sir. The,
It will go away in a while. Just give me a minute. Are you able to see the PDF, beta?
नो सर बीच में कुछ ब्लैक स्क्रीन आ रही है
Sir, there's a black box in between.
yes, sir. Black screen आ रही है पर मैंने तो स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया था इससे मैं उसमें से
Now is it okay?
Ah, yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
sir.
sir. Sir, what is the meaning of jot down?
Can you tell me the question number?
Number two, sir, answer please.
And which in question or answer?
In answer, first line.
And feels it would be weird to just simply jot down facts without giving her background. What do you want to know?
Jot down.
Jot means to note down. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Shall I scroll it down?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you show again?
Can you see this, Yashvi? This is the one. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here it is you, right?
Yes, sir. I
This is
am.
a tiny one, right? All right, great. I was looking for this picture. Yeah, dear students, can you identify? This was the mime that we did. You know what is a mime? Mime is a form of expression without speaking any words, right? I think here it is you, right? Right in front of
Yes,
me.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, see this entire batch,
Mhm.
right?
Third C.
Third C. Amazing. Great. Chalo, koi baat nahi. I was looking for that picture. Anyway, memories. Great. Chalo. Shall I scroll it down, dear students? I think these are very little questions, and you
Question
must
5.
hurry. Question number
Sir, yes,
5.
sir. I am done 5.
Shall I scroll it down a little, dear students? Yeah. Done with 5.
Yes, sir. Done with 5.
No, sir. Answer is correct.
Okay.
Sir, answer 5 is left match.
Sir, what is the meaning of explicitly? Answer 6.
Answer 6.
Second line. Also she.
The fact that Anne spent some part of her childhood with her grandmother is self-sufficient to imply connection between the two. Also, she explicitly mentioned in her diary. Explicitly means in detail. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. I think there was someone who was telling me that she was left with answer of question 5. Are you done with the answer of 5? Shall I scroll
Sir,
it down?
yes, sir. 6 question I am there.
Okay, okay, fine. So I think there are only 2 left. What you can do is, dear students, if you're left with, you can take the screenshot of this in case if we, are done with the session. You may still be able to complete the question answers in your notebook.
Okay, sir.
Done, dear students? Are you done taking the screenshot? Shall I stop the sharing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Excuse me, sir.
yeah,
So sorry for interruption, sir. Actually, I have net issues. So, sir, can you just show question 1 and 2?
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir. Sir. Uh, Thank you, sir.
Do it fast. You can
Sir,
take the
I took a
screenshot.
yeah. I took a screenshot. That's fine.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I believe, dear students, you don't have any doubts.
Yes, sir. No
You
doubt.
have
Yes,
understood
sir.
the
No doubt.
chapter. Fine. So
Yes.
next time we are going to start with one of the chapters from your footprints without feet. Okay. So till then, see you. I hope you had a great one. You've understood today's session. Now we'll be seeing each other on Friday. Okay. So till then, have a great day. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye, sir.
Okay.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.